Well, hello everyone. It is Pam again with Pam Richards Paper and Ink. I use Pam Richards Paper and Ink because I do all kinds of things involving paper. I've been a professional photographer for the past 20 years and got a little bit tired of that and decided to get into some other things. So I've been doing art journaling and Bible journaling and card making, and recently got into planning again. Many years ago I used the Franklin Covey system and found it very helpful, and then I moved into the electronic age. My day job is information technology, and oddly enough, even with all the electronic devices we have and applications, I never felt as organized as I do when I'm writing things down. So I went back to a planning system recently and I discovered DIY fish inserts, and I absolutely love them. So the purpose of this post today is to give you an overview of my DIY fish November inserts. And DIY fish is awesome. You can find her shop on Etsy. It's DIYfish.com. I'm not sure if that's active anymore. I'll certainly put it in the description in this post, but you can definitely find her on Etsy, and she has all kinds of different ones to choose from, and for different sizes of planners that you have. This one just happens to be a day timer, and so here is my November insert. Now on this one I use 65-pound paper this month. Last month I used 30. I used whatever Office Depot had printed it on, which was just regular, I think 20-pound paper. It was too light for me. So when I printed my own this month, I used 65-pound, but honestly I think you can use 32-pound without a problem. It'll be plenty thick enough and durable because I printed everything else using 32. But this one is quite durable, and I love how the DIY fish fold out in your planner. So the way it works is it's a trifold like this, and you could write monthly goals or something on the front or whatever you want to use it for. But when you open up the first flap, it's basically a tracker. You can track whatever it is you want to track. I track several things for different reasons, and this is an overlay. If you have Mac, you can use Preview, and you can do overlays on top of a PDF, because this is a PDF and it is copyrighted. So I don't change anything of the form itself. I just put an overlay on top of it, and it's for my personal use. I certainly don't sell these or anything, so it's okay if we do that. And then when you open this up, so again, if I had it closed, I could just go straight to my calendar. So you can open this up, you can see your monthly calendar. Again, I've used an overlay, and this is just washi tape. And I have my calendar. I use my calendar for events and stuff like that. For my job, these are reports that I have to produce daily, so I keep that in there. It's static. And the reason that works is when you have the weekly filled out for the current week that you're on, you can see your month and your week and your day, and I use 2 pages. And then I use this section to track any business expenses that I have for the month. And then I use this section. I probably should relabel that as tasks, because these are really monthly tasks that I want to get done. Like last month I had some various chores around the house I needed to get done, repairs and stuff like that. So this month there's a lot of things I want to do in terms of different planner ideas. The cards, of course, I have to make for friends and family. So I'm going to now turn over the first weekly spread for DIY fish. So you will notice, those of you that are familiar with DIY fish, they come plain. It's they're just plain like this. And I did photography and graphic design for about 20 years, so I just did an overlay on DIY Fish's inserts. Her copyright is still here. I've not changed anything of her form. I just did a graphic overlay because I wanted something pretty and not necessarily be forced to have to use washi tape to get it pretty. I'll still probably do washi tape, but I don't have to if I don't want to. And my week page is slightly darker than my daily pages. And to date, I was using this for a different section. For November, I'm not sure what I want to use that for, so I have left that blank for now. But if you're not familiar with DIY fish, let me just say, when you fold out the weekly section, you can see your month, you can see the current week you're on. This is week 44, which corresponds with the first week over here. And it goes Monday through Sunday vertically instead of horizontal like we're normally used to seeing it. So again, I use the monthly for events, holidays, stuff like that. I will put I do forward planning, so when I make appointments and stuff like that, I write them in the monthly section. And then when I am planning for the next day, I will write them in that week. So let me turn to the first page. This is what DIY Fish's inserts normally look like without the graphic overlay. And I didn't like the way it was. I mean, it didn't work for me specifically, so I did a graphic overlay. On her inserts, you normally have, I changed them from the first time I got them. But there's normally like a thing here for tracking your water, and the schedule goes from here to here, and I just didn't need that much time. I work from, 8 to 5, and so I didn't need a lot of time before and after. And I like to do an inspirational quote and a daily affirmation. I put my top priorities up here. I just bullet point them out. Here again is my schedule, and then I make it important to I make it an what's the best way of saying this? It's very important for me to live a life of gratitude. So in order to do that daily, I write things that I'm grateful for, at least 3 typically. And then up here is a little place for a smiley face. I track my mood, and I choose to be happy. So as I reflect back on previous days, my little faces are typically happy. Like I'll show you one from Wednesday, October 6th. I had a happy face. Sometimes they're not so happy if I have a headache or a migraine or the fibromyalgia pain is really bad, but even then I try to choose to be happy instead of let it get to me. And you'll be surprised, it's mind over matter. It makes a big difference. Anyway, then here I'll put what the weather's like and whether it's cloudy, sunny, whatever. That's from bullet journaling. And then down here I track my water. Okay, let me correct that. I'm going to start tracking my water. I don't drink enough water. And so having it visually here, as opposed to where I was previously tracking it, which was on the weekly spread, having it daily in my face, it might be a little more of an incentive to do it. Same thing with stretching and yoga and trying to get in 10,000 steps a day. So this is the beginning of November, tomorrow on Tuesday, so my new DIY fish pages. I'm very excited about starting those. And again, I just have the graphic overlay, so that's what I wanted to show you. And then one thing else I do for monthly, let me go, so these are each of the weeks that are coming up. And then the other thing I do monthly is I printed off a few extra pages. So like this is the last day of the month. I won't do anything on that page, but on this page I've reserved for writing up my November goals, and I talked about it in my last post, and if I can find it I will show you kind of what it looked like last month. So that was what my October goals were like. So I'll be doing my November goals here, and then I leave a 2-page spread for my monthly reflection, and this is what it looked like for October. And since it's October 31st, I haven't actually done it yet for October, but this is what it looks like. So I'll be creating the same thing for November. And then on the last page, I do kind of a pictorial of the important things that happened to me that month. And I haven't done it for October yet, but for October what I do is I keep a running list, as I said, and so I'll do that pictorial and then I'll put the entire month of October away in my cute little storage bin. So that is November, and hope you enjoyed it. Hope you find the overlays as exciting as I do. I can't show you how I did it because honestly it was a pain in the behind, and it took me quite a while to do it, but I think now that I have it set up it won't be quite that difficult to do again in the future, and I'll probably come up with different graphic overlays. I will tell you I used Adobe Photoshop to make this happen. It's not something that you can do in preview, but things that you can do in preview are like what I did last month when I first started using DIY Fish inserts, and that's just putting different titles or header colors, like here where I have inspirational quote or little things and grateful. I covered that up, but that's normally it says top 3 priorities and of course my affirmation. That you can easily do in preview. Or things that happen every day, like I try to do the miracle morning every day, which is, I'll talk about that in another post. But so you can do text, repeating text if you want. So there's a lot of videos out on YouTube on how to do that. You could just Google DIY fish inserts and overlays, and you could probably find all kinds of instruction. So anyway, hope you enjoy that. I'm really looking forward to using my November inserts and giving you guys an overview of how it turns out at the end of the month. If you have any questions, please feel free to include them in your comments down below. And I appreciate your time, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.